Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct privilege to welcome you to the Performing Arts Center. I'm Amy Fitchner, our superintendent. And as we look across this room, and I know they may or may not be able to hear us, but the Barrelfish Revolution and the high school steel drum band entertained us as we came in. Can we give them just a really loud round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight to honor one of the most noble professions, and that is the profession of teaching. Before we begin, I would like to take just a moment, and throughout this room, there are individuals from Owasso Public Schools teaching and learning team led by Dr. Margaret Coates that have made this event possible. And if you would stand at this time so we could recognize you, please, for your very hard work. We are living in a unique window of time, but we are a resilient people here in Owasso. And so tonight I'd like to take just a moment and tell you why we exist here as a Teacher of the Year program. This is not about trophies, it's not about prizes, although we'll talk about that in just a moment, teachers. But it is about honoring the profession, and it's been done for decades. I'd like to introduce someone who is here with us tonight who not only serves as a member of the Board of Education who is finishing her term, but who also is one of you, and she served as a teacher here in Owasso Public Schools, and that is Mrs. Pat Vanetta and her husband Mickey are with us this evening. So tonight, in front of you on this table, there is a large number of prizes and gifts. And you look at these and you'll find out later what's in them. Be very, very careful. Don't leave them in an abandoned place because there is a lot of money. But I will tell you, ooh, I like that. But really what that is a message. The community of Owasso has said to you as our district teachers of the year, you are special, you are magical, you are changing the future, and they want to invest in you. They invest in you with their time, but with their messages, because these businesses are also represented by parents, individuals who have entrusted you with the most important thing in their family, and that is their children, the students we serve. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you that have been selected by your school to be a Teacher of the Year are chosen by people who see you every day. They see you care. I shared recently in a message to our staff that the most important thing about teaching is that it matters, and the most challenging thing is it matters every day. Every action, every word, every message, everything you say to a young person plants a seed for their future. So tonight we are gathering together to recognize the best of the best. Not better than the rest, but chosen by your peers to say you are the individuals that we honor because you represent the very best of teaching. Families that are here with our teachers, thank you. If you are married to, the parent of, the daughter of, the son of, the best friend of a teacher, you see firsthand. You see the worry in the brow when you're trying to find another element of pedagogy to reach a child. You see the times after hours when you say, somebody says this is an 8 to 3 job, and you're like, no. Because you carry it in your heart. You carry it in your soul when you're a teacher of excellence. So families and friends, thank you for sharing your loved one with Owasso Public Schools. And finally, teachers, those of you that are represented in your campuses, there are hundreds and hundreds of places that you could have chosen to teach. This is a magical community framed by generosity and character, and you and your excellence have chosen to give your talents to Owasso Public Schools and to the students who are here. Bless you for that, thank you for that, and I hope tonight you enjoy every moment of this time because we are here to celebrate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fitchner, and good evening, teachers, principals, special guests, and everyone viewing from home. It is my pleasure to be here today to honor our site's Teachers of the Year and present our District Teacher of the Year. Before we begin, I'd like to explain the process for selecting the District Teacher of the Year. It begins at each of our sites in the fall. Each site is provided a set of guidelines with the selection process ending in a vote for their site's Teacher of the Year. Then each of our site's Teachers of the Year go through the process of compiling a portfolio and preparing a presentation for the District Selection Committee. This committee is composed of each site's previous 2 years Teacher of the Year honorees. All of our honorees made their presentations to the committee just yesterday. The committee made their final votes and were not told the results. They will learn who the District Teacher of the Year is along with you tonight. Senator J.J. Dossett and Representative Mark Van Kuren have issued a special 2001 State of Oklahoma citation to each of our Teachers of the Year, and I will read that to you now. And this is what will be handed to our teachers as they come to the stage. It says, the State of Oklahoma citation for Owasso Public Schools 2021 Site Teacher of the Year. Whereas among the most honorable, noble professions is that of an educator of young people, a profession to which all too few are called. And whereas Owasso Public School teachers in Owasso, Oklahoma selected as their site's 2021 Teacher of the Year as their dedication and enthusiasm in preparing for and teaching students show their desire to be the best teacher they can be for them. Now, therefore, pursuant to the motion of Senator J.J. Dossett and Representative Mark Van Kuren, the Oklahoma State Senate and House of Representatives extends their sincere appreciation and congratulations to all Owasso Teachers of the Year and directs that this citation be presented tonight. So this year, Mr. Brock Crawford, our high school video production teacher, Mr. Jordan Coppage, our Director of Communications, and Ms. Angela Parks, Teaching and Learning Coordinator, worked together to create and distribute videos of our teachers. We will let these videos tell each story, and you will see why they are all so special. Principals and teachers, when you see your video interview begin playing, that's your cue to begin walking to the podium to be recognized. Once at the podium, principals will make a few brief comments about their building's Teacher of the Year and give them the State of Oklahoma citation. The other gifts, which are displayed here on the tables at the front of the stage, include checks for each of our teachers, special nameplate, gift cards, and many, many other thoughtful gifts and encouragements from businesses and community members in Owasso. These may be picked up at the conclusion of this evening's events. Also, they're so heavy, some of them, you're going to need some extra hands to help you carry all these amazing gifts out to your car. So, we are so proud to showcase our 15 amazing teachers and the wonderful job they do. Their dedication to ensure all of our students are learning at high levels is nothing short of remarkable. We will now begin with our first video introduction.
Hi, my name is Rachel Hagan. I teach second grade at Ator Elementary. This is my 5th year with Owasso Public Schools. Before that, I taught first grade in Catoosa, and before that, I taught at Grand Central Kids Preschool here in Owasso. Some of the rewards I find in teaching are just helping students either grow or achieve some of their goals. Whether that be in second grade or middle school or high school, I just love to be able to sit back and just watch them flourish. Coming into second grade, it's new, it's exciting. It's also a transitional year too, going on to 3rd grade and 4th grade, those harder upper elementary grades. Watching students just kind of push through with that determination and grit in pursuing the goals that they had sought out for themselves by the end of 2nd grade. I want to make sure students know that they are loved and give them empathy when they need it and show them grace when they need it, but also have that grit to keep pushing on and to keep enduring through those struggles. But then give them those tools that they need to help guide them through life, not just in second grade, but through third grade, through middle school, through high school, and into adulthood. I really enjoy when students come back to me and Mrs. Hagan, I really appreciate, you really teaching me math, or I really appreciate just all you did in school, and those letters that I get. That kind of is what drives me and motivates me as their teacher.
I would like to introduce HR Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Ms. Hagan.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Hawkins, and I'm the principal at HR Elementary. And tonight I have the honor of introducing an incredible instructional leader and just someone who is a great asset to her peers and just all around an awesome human being. It's my distinct honor to introduce Rachel Hagan, HR's Teacher of the Year.
All right, my name is Calissa Stang. I'm a special education teacher at Bailey Elementary, and this is my 4th year in Owasso. My favorite things about teaching would be building that classroom community, making a safe and positive place for my students to want to come and learn. I also like learning from other teachers as well. I learn something new every day working with my colleagues also, that I get to teach my own kids in my classroom and my own personal kids too. Some rewards that I find in teaching are the growth that I get to see in my students. There's such a big difference between when they come in August and when they leave me in May, and just seeing that growth that happens, and also being in special education. I sometimes get some of my students for multiple years. So seeing where they come to me as a kindergartner and then where they leave as a second grader is really rewarding to see that. What brings me the most joy as a teacher would probably have to be being there for the small milestones in my students' lives. I get to be there for a lot of their firsts, like the first time they learn to blend their sounds together and make a word, or even losing their first tooth. We see a lot of that in elementary. So just being able to be there for those small successes in their lives is always fun too.
We'd like to introduce our Teacher of the Year at Bailey Elementary, Miss Stang.
Good evening. My name is Ashley Hearn, and I'm the proud principal of Bailey Elementary. And here beside me is Mrs. Calissa Stang. And just so you know, she's known by many names in our building, and this is an awesome opportunity for me to share those. When she's not Mrs. Stang, sometimes it's Stang, just kind of depends on who's calling her name at any moment. She's also known as Mom by her kiddos that are at school with us. She's our local Mary Kay person. And on top of that, and a really common one we hear is Wonder Woman pretty regularly, because what she does for our kids is nothing short of extraordinary. She absolutely embraces all of our students as the unique and special individuals they are, and she does it with grace and patience and love and perseverance, and we couldn't be more proud to present Bailey Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Calissa Stang.
My name is Jennifer Martin, and I have been with Owasso Public Schools for my entire career, which is 7 years, and I have been at the 7th grade center now for 4 years. My favorite things about teaching are building relationships with my students. Teaching 7th graders, they're still kind of learning who they are, and I love getting to know them and getting to know their story and making sure they know that I love them and care about them and will do the best thing that I can for them. I think my biggest reward, because I teach math, is helping students make sense of the math. A lot of students don't necessarily have gaps, they just have a lack of confidence in their math ability and their math skills, and I really enjoy finding different ways to make math make sense for my students. I get the most joy out of boosting and building kids' confidence in math. a lot of times they don't have the confidence, or they do and they're just not sure of it. So I really like to praise right answers, even praise wrong answers when they were moving in the right direction, and just make a community of safe learning just to be able to build and boost their confidence.
Owasso 7th Grade Center is proud to present the Teacher of the Year, Miss Martin!
Hello, I'm Eric Nantual, principal at the 7th Grade Center. Miss Martin is the very first teacher that I hired at the 7th Grade Center, and we try to follow 3 simple rules when we're interviewing teachers. First, and the most important by far, do they love kids? Miss Martin loves kids. She's incredible with kids, works with kids that need intervention, and does a great job. 2, do they fit the culture of our school? And she definitely does that. We have a culture that's family, and she integrates awesome with everybody and is helpful with everybody. And our last rule is, are they innovative, or at least attempting to become more innovative? And she is definitely that and above. So she fits all those things. She's a great teacher for us, and it is my honor to congratulate Miss Martin for the 7th Grade Teacher of the Year.
I am Paige Parrott, and I have been at Owasso Public Schools for 8 years, and I've taught 5th grade for 7 of those 8 years. Some of my favorite things about teaching, I love being in the classroom with the kids, feeding off their energy, joking around, just literally being in there's the funnest part of my day. The rewards in teaching, I think, are when you go from that level of frustration to the, oh, this is actually really easy sort of thing. Like you see the whole process of the, I don't understand this whatsoever, to the, that's really, really easy. Like you see the entire thought process, like, why is this so hard, to, I can do this super easy. Like you go from adding fractions with unlike denominators, and they're like, how do I even get a common denominator, to subtracting mixed numbers and borrowing, and it's super easy sort of thing. So it's just that seeing the whole process working its way through. I think what brings me the most joy is just building that relationship with the kids that goes beyond the classroom, like checking in on them, seeing how their day goes, going to their sporting events and all that, just letting them know that it's more than a teacher, like I'm here to help you however I can. I have loved every bit of being in Owasso. I work with some of the best colleagues. Like they're always there. I can ask them anything and they'll have my back, and no matter what, always there to help, and they make me a better teacher.
Barnes Elementary would like to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Miss Parrott.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Riley Zaragoza, and I have the honor of being the principal at Barnes. I've known Paige since 2014. When I came, she showed up before me, and so she was seasoned and helped me learn about Barnes and the culture there as well. Paige is incredible with kids. She's taught at Barnes for 9 years. This is her 9th year. Her video talks about showing up for kids, and she does that every day. She has 2 dogs named Gunner and Copper. She's about to be a Mrs. this summer, so that's exciting. And it is my incredible privilege and honor to introduce to you Miss Paige Parrott.
My name is Sarah Winter, and I teach at Mills Elementary, and I've been with Owasso Public Schools for 9 years. So one of my favorite things is just the relationships they build with the kids, the relationships with their families, obviously the relationships with my colleagues, and then, of course, the aha moment of learning a new skill and going, oh, wow, I get it. And so that's kind of one of my favorite things. The greatest joy for me is that when my kids want to come to school, they want to come back tomorrow. And for them, you know, I teach pre-K, so my kids, it's their first school experience. So when I can cultivate a love for learning and a love for school this early, I hope that it carries on with them for the next 18, 20, you know, lifelong, for them to be lifelong learners. And so just seeing them each day, those smiles on their faces, they want to be at school, they want to come to my classroom, and I just love that.
Miss Elementary School. The teacher of the year.
Good evening. I'm Gina Metcalf, the principal at Mills Elementary. What an amazing night. Congratulations to all of the talented and dedicated educators who are being recognized this evening. As a pre-K teacher, Mrs. Sarah Winner's creativity, her endless energy, and her positive attitude serve her well. Sarah is always quick to share a smile, and she maintains an excellent sense of humor. As you walk the halls of Mills Elementary, you can't help but hear the laughter and the joy that comes from her classroom. Please join me in celebrating Mrs. Sarah Winner, Mills Elementary Teacher of the Year.
My name is Rebecca Myers. I teach second grade at Northeast Elementary, and I have been with Owasso Public Schools for 9 years. I love teaching second grade. They're still inquisitive and curious, and it doesn't take very much to get them engaged in a lesson. It could be something as simple as putting a box of cereal on the back counter, and they are full of questions, wondering what we're going to do with it and why it's there and why it's different, and you know, what could it possibly mean for them for the day. That moment when a student reaches a goal, whether it's behavioral, social, academic, watching them accomplish something, knowing that we started, you know, small and built up to something, and knowing that they achieved that on their own, that they made the right choice, that they figured out the problem, you know, the solution to their problem, that is the most rewarding part of what we do. Being a teacher at Owasso Public Schools means a lot to me because it has helped me grow as an educator. When I first started and I was new, the team that I was on at the time was a fourth grade team, and they jumped right in and helped me to know what I didn't know. And so from that point until now, the collaboration that we do as a team in our building, across the district, as a grade level, all of those things, working with amazing educators, is what helps us to build and grow, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Northeast Elementary School is proud to present our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Myers.
Good evening, my name is Mrs. Million, and I'm the proud principal at Northeast Elementary. I have the honor of introducing our Teacher of the Year, Miss Rebecca Myers. Rebecca Myers is loved by students and teachers alike. She has the biggest heart for her students. In fact, one fun fact about Mrs. Myers is she cries a lot, but she cries when she's happy, so I guess it's a positive thing that she cries every day. She also loves Disney, which you saw in her video. She is a proud mother of 2 wonderful children, and all of the children that are in her classroom. Like I said, she has the greatest heart for students. She will pull out all the stops to make sure they get the education they deserve. We at Northeast are very proud of our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Rebecca Myers.
My name is Christopher Allen. I teach U.S. history and global conflicts of the 20th century, and I have been in the school district for 4 years. One of my favorite rewards is when a student or any student takes my class, my U.S. history class, and then signs up the next year to take my global conflicts class. I ask them why. And they say, because they're very interested in World War I, or they're very interested in World War II. But many say they love my way of teaching, and that I have impacted them that way, that they want to learn more from me is very rewarding. Of course, like most teachers would say, they love it when the kids light up and they get that aha moment. But what also gets me is when a student or a graduate comes back to school to say hi, but also tells me that the higher level thinking and the questioning and the critical thinking skills that they learned in my class has really helped them in all of their post-high school endeavors. I really enjoy that.
Owasso High School East Campus would like to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Allen.
Good evening, I'm Mark Officer. I have the privilege of serving as principal at Owasso High School. What I want you to know about Chris before anything else is that this is his second career. He's retired from serving our country in the United States Army, so congratulations. We in fact interviewed him while he was still stationed in Germany, did a phone interview, Mrs. Lang and I did, and we hung up the phone and said, man, we're going to be glad that guy's on our team. And we haven't regretted that decision from day one. Kids absolutely adore the man. Parents respect him. His peers respect him. We like him so much, we make him do something different every year. We never let him get comfortable. Next year, in fact, he's going to be the first AP Human Geography teacher ever at Owasso High School. We're super proud of Chris. Glad he's on our team. Congratulations, Mr. Allen.
Well, I am Danielle Petty, and I teach at Ram Academy. I teach junior and senior English, and this is my 4th year in the district. There's so many things about teaching that I enjoy that would be my favorites, but first and foremost, it's the kids. I love walking in every day and seeing them. Sometimes they come in super grumpy and, not really wanting to be there, but just being able to be bubbly and positive and get the eye rolls from them, I love that. I think it's rewarding whenever you can see the students engaged and their light bulb comes on. But I think it's also rewarding just from a personal perspective whenever you are learning and growing and changing from those students. And I guess in a sense, getting to see your own light bulb come on. I find the most joy as a teacher when students come and ask questions that really have nothing to do with English. I have had students that have come in and asked for help figuring out how to open a bank account, or help filling out an application, or Miss Petty, where do I find a prom dress? I like when they feel safe enough to come in and ask questions that don't relate to a bibliography or how to construct this, hook in a paper. I find a lot of joy in that.
Owasso Ram Academy would like to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Miss Petty.
Good evening. My name is Dan Clark, and I'm the principal at the Owasso Ram Academy. I'm here to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Danielle Petty. She doesn't only teach English 3 and 4. She actually teaches a class that was her idea. One of the things that I appreciate about her the most is she sees problems, she comes up with solutions, and it is not against her religion to push for those solutions, and I appreciate that very much. We actually have a girls' class. One of the things I think that she noticed was some of our students struggled with certain aspects in life when it come to prom or something along that line, and she stepped right up. And the one thing she noticed is they even struggled with other aspects of that, and she said, we need to have a girls' group, a girls' classroom, where we can sit down and talk about it. I know Dr. Fitchner's been involved, and they did some different things, but she is a very, very, very dedicated educator. She can correct students with empathy, and she does an excellent job, and I'd like to introduce the Ram Academy Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Danielle Petty.
My name is Quinn Halpin, and I teach 5th grade language arts at Stone Canyon Elementary. This is my 4th year there, and it's also my 4th year at Owasso Public Schools. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but my absolute favorite thing about teaching is obviously the students. It's so much fun to have a different group every year, and as an ELA teacher, I get the privilege of getting to know them through their writing and through their thoughts on reading. And it gives me so many insights to who they are and who they're becoming. So my favorite part is the students and getting to interact with them. Because I get to teach reading and writing, the rewards that I get to see are when that light bulb goes on, when they figure out that they can have a voice when they write. And when we get to share literature together, when they come to me and say, wow, Mrs. Halpin, that was a book that I wouldn't have read, and I really found out that I enjoy that genre. Those are the best rewards. As a teacher, I think one of my biggest fears is that I'm not doing enough, or I'm not doing a good enough job, or I'm not making a difference. And so what brings me the most joy is when I run into a parent or a student that I've had, and they tell me, hey, my kid still talks about you. My kid still says that you are one of her favorite teachers. Or my kid loves reading now because you helped him find books that he really actually enjoyed reading. And that's when I feel like, okay, I did something, I made a difference, and that brings me the most joy.
Stone Canyon Elementary would like to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Halpin.
Good evening, my name is George Holderman. I'm the blessed principal at Stone Canyon Elementary, Just being in the room with you guys tonight is amazing. Teachers, can't say enough for what you've done this year. For those of you in the room, those of you online watching, thank you very much. I want to take just a second to announce this lady on my left. And how do I do this? Okay, this is me. I'm a simple man, right? You've probably got it as a stocking stuffer at some point in your life. You probably have one in your kitchen drawer, in the glove box of your car. It's that little tool that can do everything, right? It's a screwdriver, it's a can opener. You pull it this way, it becomes a pair of pliers. Very essential, right? We use that thing. Well, let me tell you something about Quinn Halpin. Okay, she speaks multiple languages. She plays multiple musical instruments. She's lived in multiple countries. This lady is phenomenal. She inspires our staff, inspires our students, inspires our families, inspires everyone that she's around. She's an incredible teacher, an incredible person. The thing that really intrigues me about Miss Halpin, she loves her husband, and she loves her boys, Will and Grant, and she brings that love into our school each and every day and loves on the students each and every day. And I can't thank her enough for what she has done for our school, and for our staff and our community as a whole, and the public education profession. So it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce Miss Quinn Halpin as Stone Canyon's Teacher of the Year.
My name is Kyle Sprague, and I've been a 5th grade teacher at Hayward Smith Elementary for the past 15 years. One of my favorite things about teaching is reaching the kids that are unreachable. That's probably what my biggest aspirations are for my future, are impacting students who I've noticed at a very young age, like kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, it's the kids that are screaming in the hall running. It's the kids who are constantly in trouble. My background, as far as school goes, isn't probably like most teachers. Just being able to go to college alone was a big task for me, what looked impossible. My favorite thing about teaching is bridging that gap for kids at a young age. I know that everything that you've gone through has been tough, and it's made you into who you are, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you. If I could be that light for the students, that's where I'm going to be. It all kind of comes back to helping the kids with struggle. I'm really transparent with my kids. I tell them about when I've failed. Being a math teacher, you have kids come in, you have parents come in that says, hey, I'm sorry, I am so bad at math. The kids that say, like, I hate math. And that's kind of one of my favorite things for kids to say when they come in. I know it sounds weird, but whenever I can change their mind from not hating math, hating math to at least not hating it, they don't have to love it, but you know, that's amazing to me. Giving them that insight into me and saying like what I've been through, they can kind of look at what they've gone through so far and say, hey, if he can do it, and he's a teacher, and he looks for opportunities to make me feel good about myself, then yeah, I can do this. If he's gonna help me, I can do this. And that's the most rewarding thing.
Hayward Smith Elementary presents to you our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Sprague.
Good evening. I'm Patrick James. I'm the principal at Smith Elementary, and as I've gone through my career and I've tried to learn about teachers, I learn a lot when I walk into their classroom, but I learn the most when I talk to their students. And when I ask my students about Mr. Sprague, I see their eyes light up, I see a smile across their face, and I understand and know how they feel about him. We have some core values at Smith that we ask our teachers to love kids, keep them safe, and instill trust. He exemplifies that on a daily basis. He comes to school every day with the intent of reaching a student and helping them to be the best that they can be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Hayward Smith Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Kyle Sprague.
My name's Kelly Murphy, Jr. This is my 7th year here at the Owasso 6th Grade Center. Probably my favorite thing of teaching is kind of that redemptive quality it has with kids. 6th grade, I feel like I'm on the ground floor with them. I get a little more chance to give them some kind of note-taking skills or studying skills that they've got and they can carry forward because it's their first introduction into secondary. So I enjoy that part of it. You know, it's different aspects that you see with the kids. But that's the biggest thing I enjoy at this age level versus the high school that I saw before. Seeing kids kind of take what they've learned and do something with it. You know, when they kind of have that light go on, they say, oh, I get it. You can't, it's hard to beat that feeling. You know, that's the hard one to beat. And sometimes you'll go weeks without it. But especially when it's someone with a kid who, you know, I teach a lot of inclusion classes now, so we got some kids who come with some baggage and have some struggles, and when they kind of turn a corner and things level out for them and they're no longer feel like they're just constantly uphill every day, when they finally hit, hey, I've got a plateau where I see where I'm going with something, that's the thing that kind of keeps you going. It's kind of the fuel for your fire. And like I said, sometimes it doesn't happen for a while, but usually with the kids that you work with a lot and you spend a lot of time with and you try to get them to a certain point, when that does happen, that you feel as good as they do. And that's kind of how it works for me. That's the biggest thing I can shoot for every day. If I can make that happen for a kid sometime throughout the year, you know, give them some kind of thing that they can work with as they go forward, that's the biggest reward I think I have.
The Owasso 6th Grade Center would like to introduce the Teacher of the Year, Mr. Murphy.
Good evening. My name's Kira Kelsey, and I'm the principal at the 6th Grade Center. Oh, I wasn't going to do this. I'm retiring, so that's why this is really. It's been a privilege to work with Mr. Murphy. Not only does he love students, but you know, when at the beginning of the school year, when we didn't really know what was going to happen, were we going to be there? Were we going to be together with our students, or was it going to be, you know, the distance learning, the pivot to home? He, as part of our ITSL team, just stepped right in, and with his calmness, just helped our teachers to make that transition to helping those students online. And you know, there was a lot of tears, and a lot of our principals would probably tell you a little bit of gnashing of teeth and wondering what in the world, how's this going to work and how are we going to get all this done. And he just stepped right in, alleviated fears, you know, would go to their classrooms, would do whatever needed to be done to help our teachers to be successful. And I feel like with him and another teacher's hard work, they did a phenomenal job. We had lots of teachers that were just, oh, okay, I get this. And then knowing that Mr. Murphy was always willing to help and step in, you know, that's what it takes. And that's why there's so many wonderful people here tonight. And you all deserve to be congratulated. And so it is an honor to have Mr. Murphy in our building. So I would like to just say thank you for all that you do and for being our Teacher of the Year at the 6th Grade Center.
Hi, I'm Rachel Kemp. I teach at Morrow Elementary. I teach 2nd grade. I have been in the district for 10 years. There's a lot of things I love about teaching, but I think one of my favorite things about teaching is watching students put into practice what they've been taught, whether it's an academic skill, a social skill, or just a life skill. But watching them take what they've learned and apply it and put it into practice, I think, is one of my favorite things I get to see on a daily basis. I'm rewarded every day by my job. I absolutely love my job, but I think one of the best rewards that I get from teaching is learning from my students. They can teach me, they can teach adults something every day, whether it's finding the joy in the little things, showing compassion, persevering, working hard, rising to the high expectations that are set for them. And you know, they have good days and they have bad days, and they keep going and they ask for help. So I think all the things that students do on a daily basis can teach me how to act still as an adult. So I think that's one of the greatest rewards for me, is learning from them. I have joy every day. I love my job. I love coming to work. But I think the relationships that are built between me and my students brings me the most joy, and their parents. I think the relationships are the foundation of learning. So if I can learn, or together we can learn their likes and their dislikes, what motivates them, what they're good at, what they struggle with, then learning can take place. And of course, when learning takes place, that brings a lot of joy and happiness for a teacher. So I think those relationships.
We are happy to present our teacher, Mrs. Kemp, Morrow Elementary's Teacher of the Year.
Good evening. My name is Tiffany Cooper. I have the privilege of serving as Morrow Elementary's principal. It's my distinct honor to present to you our Teacher of the Year, Rachel Kemp. When I think of words that come to mind, when I think of Rachel, words like team player, excellence, servant's heart, all of those things come to mind. Rachel not only impacts the students in her classroom, but she has a distinct impact within our staff, within all of her colleagues. It is not uncommon to hear Rachel talking to colleagues, coming through the office, asking, what can I do? How can I help? Let's figure it out. She is so solution-oriented with her kids if they're coming up against a problem or they're not quite getting something when talking to her parents, and also shows such grace and leadership as she leads her team at Morrow, and also she serves as the district lead. So my privilege to introduce to you our Teacher of the Year at Morrow, Rachel Kemp.
I'm Kimberly Coppage, and I teach English for freshmen at the Mid-High / Owasso High School West, and this is my 5th year. I had the ability to choose to come back to work. So for me, everything was my favorite thing about teaching. I got to express my passion for education and work with kids. It's that idea that I may not be able to change the world on some large scale, but it gives me the chance to, by one little act of kindness every day, feel like I'm affecting change. And I get to express that every day. So that's my favorite thing. What's rewarding to me is them, their resilience, the sense that they come in thinking that they do not want to learn anything, and then when they realize accidentally that they did, or the kid, the one that you make a difference to, and you know it and you see it and you get to thrive on that. It could be as simple as the student who maybe wasn't doing very well, and then it clicks and it connects, and so you're able to structure their environment so that they can then find that success, and then you see them be able to carry that forward. I can't think of anything more rewarding than that.
Owasso High School West Campus would like to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Coppage.
Hi, I'm Mark Officer, Principal at Owasso High School. It's such a privilege to come up here and introduce to you Mrs. Coppage. A couple years ago, I moved my office across the street, hoping to get to know the teachers on the West Campus a little bit better, and I'm glad that I did, just so I had a chance to meet her. She is a role model for her staff. She's a former principal, actually, so it's great to have those leadership skills in the building. That's not why her staff respects her so much. They respect her because she shows up every day and serves kids. And it's what I love about her is that she serves the kids that need her the most. She works in our at-risk program there at the West Campus. Sorry, I can't speak. And works with the kids that are dropouts waiting to happen, man. And she comes every day with the desire to make sure that never happens. So I'm so thankful for Ms. Coppage, proud of her and the role that she does, and appreciative of what she does on our staff.
My name is Angela Grobe, and I am a 3rd grade teacher at Hudson Elementary. This is my 5th year of classroom teaching, but I was also an instructional assistant for 3 years prior to that. So I've been in the school district for 8 years. Seeing the growth in my students is a huge reward for me. Just seeing their starting point to when they leave 3rd grade. It's really neat to be out on the playground and see them as 4th and 5th graders run up to me and tell me how it's going. Seeing their joy in their learning. So when they start to take ownership in their learning, they have an aha moment or that light bulb moment when they finally realize or finally get the skill that we're working on. When they get their papers back and they're looking through their papers and they see their grade and they rejoice over that. Or if they miss something, when they're coming and asking me, well, how come I missed this? And we talk through it together, they're actually taking ownership of their learning and wanting to learn more. And so then the next time, or the next day that they come to school, they are applying what they just learned. I guess a reward for me would be the way I learn from them, my growth. I've learned a lot just in these 5 years of being a classroom teacher, so seeing that growth in them and me, that's the biggest reward for me. It's been a privilege to work in a district that values its teachers and its students, and also in a school district where we have the support of the community. And just the way in which it's kind of a big district, but it's also kind of a family atmosphere. So I've really enjoyed working in this district, and I don't think that I would want to work anywhere else.
Austin Elementary is proud to present our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Grobe.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Van, and I am the principal at Hodgson Elementary. And it is my honor to introduce Miss Angela Grobe as our Teacher of the Year. She is just the absolute best. Not only is she the third grade Google Classroom guru, but she always helped everyone in the school that needed help this year. She's such a blessing. She takes her teaching craft. She's so serious and passionate about it. But the best thing about Miss Grobe is she loves and respects students. So yet again, Miss Angela Grobe.
My name is Steve Holloman. This is my 42nd year in Owasso. Came the 1979-80 school year, and it's been a great run. I like the relationships, the interactions with the kids, the teachers, the coaches, being able to have that give and take. You know, at this point in time, you know, being an older teacher, my give and take can be a little bit different than they have with other teachers, and I enjoy that. And once they get to know me and I get to know them, they'll know what they can get away with and what they can't, and I enjoy the relationships. For me, my rewards are being able to teach them other things, you know, whether it's kindness or staying humble, or how to treat a peer, how to interact with their teachers, the presentation of some things. Sometimes it's all in the presentation. You know, those things, to enjoy life, to honor their family, to protect their name. That's a lot of what I'm doing right now, or I try to do that. Even above that is the interaction throughout the years, when years later someone will come up and hug my neck and say, thanks for this particular thing, you gave me the confidence to talk to people. Or just when we tell them not to take things for granted, or you know, try to teach them a lesson. You know, back then they'll come up and say, you guys were right. And that's pretty rewarding right there.
Owasso 8th Grade Center would like to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Coach Holloman.
Hello, I'm Alton Lusk, principal at the 8th Grade Center. I have the privilege and honor of introducing Coach Steve Holloman as our 8th grade Teacher of the Year. Just a couple things about Coach Holloman. Commitment comes to mind. 42 years of being in this profession and being here in Owasso. His disposition over those 42 years of being patient, of being caring, of being kind are second to none. And just his value in relationships is really what come to mind. And so just want to say thank you. You made an impact in my life. I know that you've reached probably most people in here too, and we love you.
Mr. Lusk, he's ready now.
What an amazing night. What a glorious group of teachers. Let's give everybody one more big round of applause. I've been looking forward to this night since the second semester started. This night has been such a blessing to be together. I think we're all hungry to have that time together, so I really appreciate it. I'm Margaret Coates, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning. I don't think I'd introduced myself earlier, so I thought I'd better do that now. And before announcing the District Teacher of the Year, I would like to say a special thank you to Mrs. Renee Klein, Administrative Assistant to Dr. Fitchner. She and Angela Parks helped put together all these baskets that you see here on the front table, so let's give them a round of applause also. And again, to the wonderful steel band that played for us as we entered the PAC this evening. I just came kind of dancing in. It made me feel good tonight to be here. And finally, I'd like to also recognize the generosity, again, of all the sponsors and community members who make this event possible. And after I announce the Teacher of the Year, which I'm getting ready to do, that teacher will make their way to the stage to be recognized and make a few comments. So this year, we've all had to overcome challenges, and we've all become stronger through this dedication and perseverance. I call this grit. And this word has been mentioned a few times tonight. And according to Angela Duckworth, one thing that's true of gritty people is they love what they do, and they keep loving what they do. So they're not just in love for a day or a week. People who are really gritty, they're still interested. And that's the common thread that I heard from all of our teachers tonight. They love what they do. They're back every day. They're still interested. So it is my pleasure to introduce one of the grittiest teachers of Owasso Public School, our District 2021 Teacher of the Year, Ms. Danielle Petty from Owasso Ram Academy.
Well, thank you so much, first of all. I don't think I'm going to be able to speak without crying. I do love what I do, and this definitely has been the year to be the grittiest that you can be. I think we've all experienced challenges and new learning curves thrown at us. But kind of like always to remind myself in those moments that when things do get tough and they do get difficult, we're on the potter's wheel and we're just becoming better versions of ourselves. So again, thank you so much. I do enjoy what I do so much. Thank you.
All right, teachers and family members and special guests, please feel free to take pictures in front of the your school site's sign back here or banner. And teachers, please remember to pick up your gifts that are on the front table here, the front of the stage. Thanks again for everyone being here tonight, and thank you to our viewers on our live stream. We are so grateful to have you here, and this concludes our evening for tonight. So thank you. Have a great night.